Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for attending our webinar, Create Disruptive Delight with Agile Innovation. We are so thrilled to have you online with us today. Please note at the end of our webinar, we will be responding to some of the questions that have come in. Feel free to enter them in the chat window below. Let me take a moment to introduce myself and our wonderful speakers this afternoon. My name is Nisa Barkat, and I will be your host for today's webinar. Currently, I'm the marketing manager at Novatek. I have 13 years of experience with various marketing and sales solutions that create value for the life science industry. And joining me will be Ludwig Melich, CEO of Planbox. Ludwig has over 20 years of experience in enterprise software and recently served as president of Upland Software. And last but not least, our solution consultant, Ryan Dankoff. Ryan understands what it takes to make an innovation program work successfully. Later on in today's presentation, he will demonstrate how a solution like Nova-Innovate can help meet your innovation goals. All right, let's take a look at today's agenda. I am confident that we can all say that society is in a new era of innovation. It is an incredible time to live, and our technologies are catapulting us towards amazing efficiencies. Today, we're going to talk about the current state of innovation in the life science industries and where we can actually make those efficiencies. We will look at what innovation really means, the challenges associated to it, and the critical success factors. We will also discuss the benefits and results you can expect from a well-executed innovation program. And finally, later on, we will take a look at Nova-Innovate, a solution that can help you achieve your innovation objectives. Now, let's talk about Novatek, the company hosting today's webinar. Novatek International is a leading provider of regulatory compliance software for the pharma, biotech, and food industries. Our approach provides the building blocks for a complete quality management solution that could be built with one of our many modules. Some of them you've already heard of. Nova LIMS, Nova Stability, and Nova EM are just to name a few. We are a company of over 18 years of innovative software engineering. We've developed our software with an in-depth knowledge of the highly regulated pharma and biotech industries. Our comprehensive out-of-the-box solutions meet at least 95% of our user requirements, and we've spanned worldwide global regulatory compliance reach. We've been fortunate to have such great, successful, and rapid implementations across the globe with a commitment to partnering with our clients with very effective project management. Earlier this month, some of you might have already heard that Novatek and Planbox announced an exclusive Agile Innovation partnership for the life science industry. We figured take Novatek with its robust knowledge of the pharma and biotech industry and take Planbox with its robust knowledge of innovation management and pair them together. And that's what we're here for today. And I can't thank you all in advance enough for joining us. So let's pass on the presentation to Ludwig. Go ahead, Ludwig.
Thank you, Nisa, and welcome everyone to our webinar. Drugs discovery has become much more difficult and costs continue to rise. Incredibly, it now costs up to $5 billion of R&D spending for a pharmaceutical company to have a single approved molecule. In 2014, global pharma R&D expenditures reached $140 billion. There were 20 pharma companies that reached the top 20 of the list in R&D spending. On the other hand, none of these companies made it to the list of 10 innovators. Another interesting data point is that only 5% of patents for new drugs make it to commercialization. I think we can all agree that innovation is a necessity for pharmaceutical companies to grow and maintain a competitive advantage. But only 63% of executives surveyed said they had a very well-defined innovation program. Additionally, most believe that internal and external collaboration is necessary to ensure the effectiveness of ongoing health of their innovation program. There is a clear correlation between innovation and growth. In the past 3 years, most innovative companies grew at an average of 16% higher than the least innovative ones. The growth for innovation companies is predicted to be 20% for the next 5 years. 14% of these revenues came from new products and services in the past year, and the growth was 25% for the most innovative companies. So as we can see, R&D spend and filing for patents does not necessarily translate to innovation. So what does innovation really mean anyway? It is important for each organization to actually go through the exercise to define an innovation in their organization, and a good idea to revisit the definition to make sure it still reflects the focus and efforts that are being implemented to yield the right results. If I was to offer some possible definitions, a new idea that adds value and actually happens, perhaps business innovation is the creation and capture of value in new ways, or the process of translating an idea into goods and services for which customers will pay. We should also keep in mind that there are different types of innovations. We could potentially look at market or business model type innovations, or for our offering on the production or delivery front, the technology, as well as the supply chain. Ultimately, there are many different ways an organization can benefit from its innovation efforts. Now, companies need a clear, defined strategy and a well-thought, sustainable innovation approach. They need a program that adapts and challenges the organization to work with stakeholders internally, as well as through open innovation with the community, from customers, partners, suppliers, and even its competitors. As we just discussed, companies must pursue different types of innovation. Disruptive innovation is essential, but other forms of innovation must be sought through improvements to the business model, supply chain, existing products, and looking for ways to positively impact the customer experience. Based on the latest PricewaterhouseCoopers report, nearly 80% of pharma executives want to better monetize existing products and services, and 40% are looking for innovation around the business model over the next 3 years. So what does the status quo look like? Well, the innovation pipeline constantly needs feeding and vetting. Huge investments are made to bring about very few winners. New discoveries need to sink both into market-ready segments while also complying to regulatory norms. Various departments and divisions are often working in silos with little cross-functional knowledge that is being leveraged. Intra-departmental and intra-divisional competition for attention and resources further complicates collaborative activities. Large acquisitions create integration issues, disconnects, duplications, and the occasional turf war. And finally, acquisition of smaller biotech firms creates cultural barriers and operational misfits. So let's look at steps to achieve innovation success. Number 1, evaluate your innovation strategy and structure it with purpose. Second, identify pressing business needs and challenge sponsors by looking at identifying your innovation goals, teams and objectives, sourcing ideas through campaigns, hackathons, challenges, co-creation and scrums. Engage internal and external subject matter experts to help develop ideas for viability. Third, create management committees for sound and rapid decision making. And finally, create aligned routing and tasks. Remove silos that interfere with proper workflows. To make the above simpler to get off the ground, and more sustainable, invest in an innovation management system and best practices to get it right the first time. So depending on how your definition of innovation is put in place and how you want to source ideas, you also need to think about which ideas should be truly explored, developed, and considered for a project launch, and ultimately results in what you can constitute a successful idea that is implemented in your business. So let's talk about the challenges organizations face while innovating. Number one on the list is obviously innovating in silos and taking more of a functional approach to innovation, or just having way too many ideas and not a proper way and process to action and bring them to fruition. Another challenge is not doing so in a collaborative fashion and making sure you're giving a voice to everyone in your company, and ultimately with the new generation who is very tech savvy and ready to share their feedback, it's important to make sure their voices are heard. And potentially, by not having the right approach, the biggest challenge is killing disruptive innovations that could be potentially transformational but are killed off too early in the process before they're given an opportunity to be developed properly within your organization. Now, organizations can take a top-down or a bottom-up approach to innovation. From a bottom-up perspective, one of the key areas to make sure you do not have a problem that is occasioned is to avoid the suggestion box syndrome, in which case you will have a stockpile of ideas that are provided, but they do not align with your strategy and you're not able to act on them, at which point you will have employee and community disengagement that will result. So we would recommend more of a top-down approach whereby you set challenges that are strategically aligned with your organizational efforts, and you can secure executive support and then reach out to the masses to find the best ideas that help your organization achieve its objectives and be able to execute on its strategy. So these are the questions you should be asking yourself. How do you uncover new and emerging needs? Identify the right products and services to address market demand. Get ideas to improve your processes and mitigate risks. Reach out to the community for feedback. Work together as a team to come up with great ideas. Make sure these ideas align with your strategy. Measure, recognize, reward innovation contributions and performance. As we go through these questions, the common theme is how can one of the most knowledgeable of knowledge industries make the most of the collective brain trust that is available to it? The answer is by leveraging key stakeholders and engaging them in the innovation conversation, whether they are employees, partners, suppliers, or shareholders. Each group can offer a better way to improve day-to-day work or a vision for adding to the asset portfolio. Whether through a continuous improvement effort or periodic focused campaigns, innovative ideas are all around you. It simply takes the right program to develop them into winning projects. So let's talk about how this translates into business value. By innovating top-down by design, you're able to secure senior management buy-in, get visibility and sponsorship. This means aligning initiatives with strategic objectives to get strategy and innovation into synergy. You can identify committed leaders and connect them with goals by measuring everything that matters to them and responsibilizing your key stakeholders with innovation results, along with clear incentives tied to achieving them. By having a clarity of purpose, there are definite innovation program objectives which communicate brand promise across all channels. This translates to transparency of process and performance, which builds essential goodwill and trust to drive engagement. You can answer the age-old question of what's in it for me by giving an opportunity for users to earn promotable recognition, peer approval, or potentially rewards. This means visibility and accountability along with communications and metrics tied to stated response times. The enterprise-wide results of innovation are quite noticeable, whether for your most senior leadership to make sure that you are aligning innovation with corporate objectives and strategy, to R&D and marketing to identify ideas and experiment to make sure you're developing concepts internally and with the community, as well as involving your strategy or your continuous improvement and innovation management teams to make sure you're overcoming organizational silos by increasing the efficiency of the innovation process. And finally, making sure that your human resource is able to establish a sustainable innovation culture that promotes employee engagement. So the road to sustainable innovation is certainly not a simple one. There's a lot of work that has to go into finding ways to improve products and services, optimize your business processes, or look at changing your business model as you look for incremental, substantial, or breakthrough innovation. So as you can see in the middle area, there's a lot of work that has to be done to be able to deal with collaboration, approvals, reviews, experiments, dealing with engagement, rewards, meetings, costs, risks, setting up the right communities, ultimately to be able to get the right outcomes you're looking for from your innovation efforts, whether it's to increase revenue, reduce costs, or find new ways to do business and add value to your operations. So with that, I wanted to introduce Planbox, our Agile Work Innovation solution, which can truly help you bring creative ideas and ultimately bring about winning projects. So just to give you some quick background on Planbox, our mission is to help organizations thrive by transforming the culture of agile work, continuous innovation, and creativity. We have actually over 400 enterprise deployments. We have helped organizations realize over $1 billion of value with their innovation programs over the last 16 years of working with us. And we actually have over 1 million engaged participants that are using our solution, which is actually patented when it comes to our idea workflow approach. And it is available for customers to use by leveraging the Google Dynamics translation capabilities into 54 different languages. So ultimately, as you can see here, we can help you manage your entire innovation pipeline from the moment your leadership defines the organizational strategy and looks at the objectives that you need to achieve to be able to execute on that strategy. You can then leverage the Planbox solution to set the right challenges and ask your community to give you comments, feedback, and ideas to help you achieve your objectives. Once you have defined and looked at which ideas are available, you can then review those ideas in a little bit more detail, leverage some of the collaborative capabilities of the application to be able to develop those ideas further and potentially prioritize them, so you can look at which ones you want to proof out in a concept or potentially in an experimentation effort to find the right projects that you want to zero in your efforts on. ultimately being able to do so in an agile fashion and being able to zero in on the projects that can bring either incremental, exponential, or transformational value to your business. So with that, I wanted to pass it over to Ryan, who will give you a brief presentation of our Nova-Innovate solution, and we look forward to having future conversations with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ludwig. Before beginning today's product demonstration, I just wanted to go over our agenda items. First, we'll be starting with our global unveiling, where we'll talk about the user interface and communities. Then we'll move into ideation, where we'll talk more about challenges, idea details, and task automation. And finally, we'll conclude with results, where we'll touch on reporting and analytics, and rewards and recognition. Welcome to the global unveiling of the Nova-Innovate Innovation Management Platform. Our application was designed to give you the capability to develop a unique process that constantly adapts to your organization's innovation objectives, fits to your operational realities, fully supports your research goals, and ultimately helps you deliver superior results. Successful innovation programs in the life science industry are key to driving corporate growth and maintaining competitive advantage. Therefore, these innovation programs must be sustainable and agile to keep pace with today's rapidly changing environments. Our goal today is to show you how our application aids in producing a sustainable and agile innovation process and helps you as a pharmaceutical and life science company find new ways to profit from existing products and services. With our easily configurable user interface, you can tailor our technology to fit every aspect of your innovation process, right down to the design, graphics, and branding of your program with on-the-fly editing capabilities that do not require any coding expertise. By not having to compromise your process due to technological limitations, your innovation program doesn't have to deal with avoidable barriers, making adoption that much easier for your users and promoting engagement across your different communities. It also helps you refresh your content more often, getting users to remain engaged with the platform. This is where art meets technology. Our application also allows you to configure unique user communities, permanently or temporarily. For example, you could have a community that's specific to your internal innovation groups, and you could create one that allows for external research labs to connect to the application. We allow for each of these communities to have their own rightful branding like you see here, along with their own security, reporting, and workflows as well. Idea challenges are a great way to target opportunities. Whether internal, external, or both concurrently, Nova-Innovate is the fuel for your rocket. Getting the brain trust of a stakeholder community has never been easier or quicker. With the right permissions, innovation leaders can set up a campaign replete with creative content, timeline, and audience selection, usually in under 5 minutes. Innovation is about new ideas, growth, and speed, not laborious administration. The system has the ability to assign certain tasks or challenges to the community, allowing administrators to evaluate community-specific solutions and lead the thinking process for future innovations. Once you've set up your challenge, let's take a look at how end users can quickly submit ideas to that challenge. So let's, for example, take the How Can We Improve Our Vendor Sourcing challenge. So as I go in here, you'll be presented with a form that needs to be filled out by the end user. Now, we've designed this form specifically for this vendor-related challenge. However, I would like to note that all the forms that are used in the system can be highly configured to meet your evaluation criteria. So as an end user, I'm going to look at this form, I'm going to fill in the necessary fields, evaluate what I'm writing, and then I have two options. I'll either decide to save it as a draft, or I can submit the idea and it'll appear on our ideas page. Very simple, very intuitive. Let's take a deeper look into one of the responses to another challenge within the system. As you can see from our ideas page, our top idea within the system is currently the pill that cures all, with up to 88 votes. And I don't know about you, but I can see why it has that many upvotes. I mean, who wouldn't want a pill that can cure everything? So if you want to see more details around this idea, simply click the title and you'll be taken to the idea details page. As you can see, we are able to dissect more information around the idea, like who the submitter was, who else might have contributed to the idea, as well as where it currently lies in its life cycle. As you can see here, the pill that cures all is currently in the evaluation branch of our workflow that we've set up for the Novatek Pharmaceuticals environment. So keep in mind, we can also configure any of our workflows to match the rigors of your innovation process and deliver superior results. We're also able to see that this idea belongs to the products and packaging category and can only be seen by the Novatek Pharmaceuticals community. On the left-hand side, we're able to see all the details the submitter had filled out in the idea benefits form when submitting the idea, along with any supporting documents they might have uploaded. Lastly, we offer a fantastic collaboration section on the bottom of the page for end users to refine their ideas and potentially make them even more robust through collaboration. And we can slice and dice this even further by segmenting the conversation into discussion points, suggestions, questions, and even private conversation for more confidential matters. This gives you maximum flexibility and zero restraints. The platform also allows system administrators to appropriately send tasks to individuals who are subject matter experts on the associated ideas and develop them further. While this method is a manual process, our system can also allow for the automation of task designation based on the input provided in the idea submission process. And with our patented automated business rules engine, Nova-Innovate software can automatically send tasks to individuals, committees, or groups to help develop them even further. Now, this level of automation can be configured to deliver results with an unprecedented level of speed. So just to recap before we move on, Nova-Innovate allows you to create and promote exciting idea campaigns in a matter of minutes, target multiple audiences or individual users or communities, allowing you to tap the collective brain trust and mind share in seconds, run concurrent campaigns with multiple stakeholder communities, set themes, timelines, and creative content for each challenge, and ultimately help you accelerate your innovation process and beat your competition to market. Nova-Innovate comes with a set of standard reports, along with the ability to create your own reports, all through our built-in browser-based reporting engine. That means any user with the appropriate permission can create, run, and share custom reports created to their specifications, all right from within the browser. This translates to convenience and efficiency, and with the whole reporting infrastructure being browser-driven, you never have to perform any data export-import routines or install-update any report drivers. Here are a few advanced reports which highlight our reporting engine's power and capability through the use of animated visual displays. Your innovation program is only as strong as your engagement levels. Nova-Innovate allows you to drive engagement through our rewards and recognition module. We can do this in a variety of ways depending on the cultural landscape of your innovation program. For example, if users vote, collaborate, or submit ideas, we can set up a point or badge system that begins tracking their system activities. Once a certain threshold of points or badges is earned, users could be eligible for various perks, such as lunch with the CIO, Chief Innovation Officer, as an example. On the other end of the spectrum, we can also offer hardline rewards, such as iPads and other tablets, GPS systems, and gift cards, to name a few. Through these recognition and rewards methods, your innovation team's commitment to the platform will be strengthened and will result in sustained collaboration around new drug discovery efforts and other pharmaceutical campaigns. To conclude today's product demonstration, I would like to reiterate that Nova-Innovate allows you to generate deeper, more relevant, and faster collaboration by increasing the level of engagement with your audience. Our platform gives you the capability to develop a unique process that fits your innovation aspirations, adapts to your operational realities, faithfully supports your innovation goals, and delivers superior results. Capture the best ideas and develop them to create value for your pharmaceutical and life science organization, all from within a single platform. Nova-Innovate is central to our clients' end-to-end innovation process. we have consistently delivered results with higher than projected ROI. This not only confirms the value of our technology, but also underscores the importance of our holistic implementation approach, which adeptly integrates innovation engagement with day-to-day operations. Thank you for viewing the unveiling of our innovation management platform. I will now pass it back to Nisa for Q&A.
Well, thank you very much, Ludwig and Ryan, for your presentations today. We hope we were able to ignite some motivation in all of you today to look at innovation with a more clear plan. We are Novatek and Planbox, and we're here for you in this space. It looks like I see a few questions coming in, so let's take a moment to answer them. I've got about 2 or 3 that I'd like to get through with you folks. Let's see. Question number 1. We tried an innovation program, but got very poor engagement and results. How will a software solution be any different? That's a great question. Thanks for submitting. I totally hear it. Innovation programs, they start, and for some reason, and in some way, they get stale over time. A successful innovation program is not a sprint. It is a marathon. Like anything, you have to work hard with a partner that has the experience and the platform to keep changing things up and adjusting, keeping what works and dumping what doesn't. And with something like Nova-Innovate as a software solution, there are many different ways of driving that engagement in the platform. For example, real-time updates and reporting, highlighting the latest progress throughout the program, or even the rewards and recognition module that provides advanced gamification designs to keep your end users engaged and committed to the platform. And also, you want the system to have the same look and feel as the corporate DNA to resonate deeply with the end users. All right, let's go for a second question. All right, question number 2. This one's fairly easy. Can we easily integrate with other systems? If so, which ones? Thanks for your question. Well, we do offer an open REST API. So yes, we can integrate with third-party applications, whether they are help desks, project management tools, or rewards and recognition platforms. All right, here is the final question for today's webinar. Is Nova-Innovate a cloud solution, or can we deploy on-premise as well? Good question, and thanks for submitting. Nova-Innovate is a cloud-based solution indeed, and it runs on a highly secure Microsoft Azure network. We have deployed over 400 enterprise implementations to date. We also offer on-premise installs, and our largest on-premise install was for over 185,000 users at Verizon Wireless, America's largest telecom provider. Great question. Thanks again for submitting. Well, it looks like we've come to the end of today's webinar. Feel free to take note of both of our organization's contact info you see here on the slide. We are here to help. Our experts on innovation will be more than happy to answer any of your questions, either from Novatek or Planbox. Thank you all once again for joining us today for our webinar, and we hope you are now going to be able to find the ignition to innovate further. Have a great day, everyone. And thanks again.